Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to another Modern League. This time we're going to be running through with Bogles. As you may have seen the previous video set, I went through a league with the modern blue-black mill deck. So this is one of the three deck lists that we're going to be taking to GP Madrid, which is Team Unified Modern. So we're taking blue-black mill, we're taking Bogles, and we're taking Affinity. The mill deck went okay, not great. Depends on the matchup. It could be fine. The Bogles deck, again, is probably a fairly similar sort of deck to that. Sometimes it just gets there. And Affinity sort of, depends what sort of sideboard hate people have. But let's just take a quick look through what we're aiming to do with the Bogles deck. So it's built around these hexproof creatures. So you play 1/1s for 1 which have hexproof. You've got 8 of those in the deck. So you've got 4 Slippery Boggle, 4 Glade Cover Scout. Your other creatures, you've got 4 Core Spirit Dancer. So this gets +2/+2 for each aura attached to it, and whenever you cast an aura, you get to draw a card. So you might be gathering the idea of what we're trying to do with the deck. You're trying to play these hexproof creatures, and then staple a load of pants to it. So you've got a load of auras that give it, buffs. It can get +1/+1 for each first strike, and or +1/+1 for each enchantment and first strike. You can give it reach, you can give it trample, you can give it first strike again, more first strike. Hyena Umbra gives it more first strike. Daybreak Coronet is where you want to get to sort of on turn 2 ideally. So this gives it a whole host of keywords, so +3/+3, first strike, vigilance, and lifelink. But you can only play Daybreak Coronet on a creature if it already has another aura attached to it. This version of the deck, which did well in a Mitgo RPTQ, I think, at the weekend, also has Triclopean Sight, which is a bit of spice. So it's got flash for 1 and a white. It gives it +1/+1 and vigilance, and when it enters the battlefield, it also untaps a creature. So if you swing in with something, you can have a surprise blocker. We also have Unflinching Courage, which gives it Trample and Lifelink, which against some decks is just unbeatable. And the final bit of spice in the main deck is some Leyline of Sanctity. So things like Liliana of the Veil, being able to Edict, is a nightmare for the Bogles deck to deal with, so being able to deal with that main deck is great. And it also stops things like Thoughtseize and Inquisition of Kozilek from taking away your vital creatures. Sideboard, you've got Rest in Peace, Stony Silence, you've got your typical white sideboard cards. Spirit Link is great in some matchups for being able to help you gain a bit of life. So for instance against Burn, you can put this on an Eidolon of the Great Revel, and then it basically negates any damage it would do to you. Seal of Primordium, just, deal with a lot of troublesome permanents. And Gaddock Teague is great against things like Collected Company, Court of Calling, Cryptic Command, Wraths, all of that sort of stuff. So yeah, generally a pretty solid deck, I think. Let's jump into the league, and I will see you in game 1. Okay, here we go, round 1 with Bogles. It looks like we've lost the die roll, and what have we got? We have 1 Boggle and a load of pants. So as long as you don't get Thoughtseize, this hand is great. No Thoughtseize, no Thoughtseize. Yes, that's not a Thoughtseize. Faithless Looting. Okay, cool. So Dredge. Interesting. I don't know how the Dredge matchup is, but we'll see pretty soon. Let's get that guy down. Next turn, probably Rancor and Ethereal Armor. Okay, so opponent's just going to go a little bit wild, probably Dredge, Dakmor Salvage. They do, they hit a Conflagrate. They've got Bloodghast in the bin, so they can get that back with a land drop and get back their Amalgam. So they're building up their board pretty quickly here, so we want to get this Daybreak Coronet on board as quickly as possible, get some lifelink going. Okay, all of this life we're losing here is a little bit unfortunate. So Rancor, Ethereal Armor, got a 5/3 first strike trample. Do we even want to attack? Yeah, why not? Let's put our opponent under some pressure. Okay, they go to 15. We're going to get hit for 5 this turn. Maybe more if they've got something like a Scourge Devil, but that still shouldn't be lethal. Yep, so they get in for 5. We go down to 12. And they just pass the turn straight back. So let's put the biggest, fanciest pair of pants possible on this Slippery Boggle. Vigilance is the key that we're looking for here, and yeah, that's good enough for our opponent. They just scoop it up. Rest in peace. Seems good. Galactic, probably not necessary here. Yeah, I think the rest of that's probably fine. Do we need Leyline? I don't think so. I don't think that stops anything out of Dredge. Let's just have a quick look. None of these cards randomly target the opponent, do they? Apart from Conflagrate, if they want to try and burn us out. Brutality. Yeah, that could be annoying. Maybe we want to leave a couple in for Collective Brutality. No, actually that's not annoying. It's not just Thoughtseize. I'm being stupid. Is that good enough? Rest in peace for Leyline. I think that seems fine. Run that, see what we can get. Okay. We have, again, this looks like a decent hand, so we will keep it. We have, I think, we'll see what our opponent does here, but that will probably determine whether or not we play the Spirit Dancer on 2 or play out these Umbras on 2. Faithless Leasing is the ideal Dredge to start. And they get rid of a couple of good ones, so it looks like they're on a pretty fast start. Let's just do what we do and play out a Glade Cover Scout. Okay, Dredge, they don't hit anything particularly useful, which is quite nice. And what do they go for? Cathartic Reunion. Okay, that's quite scary. That's an Amalgam. There's the Narcomoeba, so they've got 2 Amalgams coming back. Yep, just 2. Okay. Let's see what we draw this turn. Temple Garden. That doesn't help at all. So let's just play out the Spirit Dancer. Try and draw our way out of this next turn. Let's just pass. We need a bit of lifelink. They hit a Narcomoeba. They've got Nature's Claim in their deck, which is worth watching out for. They'll also probably have Abrupt Decay. But if they were going to do that, they should probably do it now. No, they loam. Get back some lands so they can bring back a Bloodghast. Or, yeah, just 1 Bloodghast, but that gets back their 3rd Amalgam. Okay. I couldn't we played against Dredge when we were playing Mill? That would have been nice. But no. And they leave back an Amalgam, which is nice, I suppose. Ethereal Armor. Draw a card. And always yes. Planes. Not what we want. Spider Umbra. Gives us an Ethereal Armor. Let's make a couple of first strikers, and we got another land. Jeez, that is way too many lands. Can't do much with that. Couple of big old creatures, but we are probably just dead to a couple of flungy attacks from our opponent here. Yeah, they get back a Narcomoeba. Anything else? I assume they have plenty of options because they've got 7 cards in hand. Worst case scenario, there's a Faithless Leading in the bin for them to flashback. Let's see what they do here. We don't have to block the Bloodghast. They've got what, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 points of power. So we can block 2 Amalgams and go to 9. They don't attack with everything, so let's get rid of the Amalgams for now. Probably get blown out by Abrupt Decay. Nope. Go to 4. And play Stinkweed Imp. That's not the end of the world, but it's certainly not ideal. Path. Draw a card. Oh, there's so many lands. Get rid of that. Goes to 2 and scoop. No, that's not ideal. Let's see if our opponent sees a line of killing us. Yeah, okay. Let's just scoop. They have so many different ways to kill us here, it's not worth holding on. Maybe a bit of Spirit Link. A couple of those would probably be useful instead of the Cartouche doesn't help much. And that doesn't help much. Let's bring in another one as well. For what? Reach is useful here. Totem Armor is good. Griff Spoon? Yeah. I think if we can just survive until the medium to late game and get some lifelink on a creature, then that should be good. So yes, we'll play first. No lifelink, but it just looks like a pretty aggressive start, so we'll keep this one. And we have a land which isn't going to deal us about 1,000 points of damage over the course of a game, so that's nice as well. Okay, Faithless Leading is cool. That's a couple of pretty good ditches for our opponent there. So let's go get Temple Garden, Ethereal Armor, and Spider Umbra. Get in for 4. Opponent's down to 16. We can put 2 more on it next turn, at least. Can't even be bothered trying to work out how big that would make it. They've got a couple of amalgams coming back here, which is dangerous. Again, vigilance would be ideal. Life from the loam, that's fine. Get back amalgam, get back amalgam. Trample. Trample is good. Is that lethal? Let's get a forest. Umbra goes to a 6/6. Umbra goes to an 8/8. Rancor goes to an 11/9. Punch. Okay, opponent's down to 4. Now they need to figure out how they're going to survive next turn. And I'm not sure how they do that. I think they need a good dredge off this thug, hit a couple of bloodghasts, and a conflagrate. So they can play a land, get some bloodghasts into play. Conflagrate as pre-combat, get back all the bloodghasts, and then swing for lethal. They could do it, I think. But we've done all we can, put them in a position where they have to do it. If they don't have it, or if they don't see the line, then we should have them next turn. Okay, they swing for 5, which doesn't make much sense. Unless they have a way to get rid of Rancor. Which they do. Yep. Okay, so we gain some life. The amalgam dies. Rancor comes back. Let's play it again. And might as well play out planes. Pass the turn. And they need to do that again next turn to survive. They go down to 3. What have you got? Cathartic. Looks like Cathartic Reunion, and presumably they're going to natural draw this. So they can try and hit a Nature's Claim. They do. If they don't hit it, I expect them to scoop. And they do. Okay, cool. So round 1 with Bogles successful. I will see you in round 2.